It's Wednesday. That means it's Wildcard Wednesday. And we're going to do a throwback. We're going to talk Wilderness Medicine Wednesday. Let's go. Okay, welcome back everyone. Super excited to see you. Super excited to have a topic for Wilderness Medicine Wednesday. Really enjoy Wilderness Medicine Wednesday. I really just ran out of topics, and this one popped into my head. I did not get this one from a viewer. And what I want to talk about is actually a little poorly timed because it's the end of the season as I record this. It's the beginning of September, so this problem is probably subsided for most people. We're starting to see vines withering and such. So, but maybe in the spring, people will start watching this video. I want to talk about poison ivy, poison oak, poison sumac, all the poisons, and prevention and treatment and stuff like that. So the first is identifying. As a colorblind person, I am particularly bad at identifying these three plants. Here are pictures of all three, and hey, don't touch them. That's my best advice for you. Just don't touch them. If you do touch them, 8 to 12 hours later, you're going to get a reaction that is going to be red, itchy. It can be blistered and crusty and can release a pus. I say 8 to 12 hours, but I can't find any literature that actually says that. I'm going to say that that's anecdotal and based on my experience. Despite popular belief, the pus does not spread the reaction. What's going on there is that because the reaction takes some time, it takes longer for the reaction to occur in other places. So it's not being spread by the pus. Don't worry about that. Treatment for this, if you've already got the reaction, is things like cold compresses. You can take an antihistamine. I've seen things like aloe vera is supposed to work well, baking soda wash, things like that. I think the over-the-counter meds and cold compresses is probably the best bet. I don't know of anything that's going to make this go away. I will say, a long time ago, I didn't used to get reactions to this at all. I could roll in it and was fine. But then in the mid-90s, I found myself getting it all the time. And once I got it so badly that I went to an emergency room, all up and down my arm. It was swollen. It was really bad. And I got a cortisone injection, which dried it up and got rid of it almost immediately. I asked a doctor about that years later. They no longer do that for all sorts of reasons. The cortisone injections have all sorts of side effects that are apparently worse than the reaction. So I really was disappointed that that was no longer an option because I do remember how quickly and well it worked. We don't do that anymore. So cool compresses, don't scratch it just because you're going to increase the likelihood. Doing that made me itch. You're going to increase the likelihood of an infection, and we don't want that on top of it. So take your time, don't scratch. So what's going on here is that the plant releases an oil called urushiol, which gets on your skin, and that is an irritant. That's what causes the reaction. So if you've been exposed, the best bet is to try and wash that off before you can have a reaction, or washing it off will minimize the reaction because you'll get rid of the oil that has not been absorbed yet. And again, it's that 8 to 12 hours. I don't know how real that is, but the sooner you can wash this off, the better. There is a product called Technu, which works pretty well. It's also fairly expensive, and I have found that since this is an oil, what actually works really well is dish soap, particularly dish soap that is formulated for cuts grease better. So wash with dish soap, which is very inexpensive and super effective. I think that's it. Don't touch it. If you do, wash it off. If you don't, and it's too late and you get the reaction, cold compresses and over-the-counter meds. Okay, that is your Wildcard Wednesday for this week. I'll see you on Sunday. As I mentioned yesterday in the addendum video, big news coming this Sunday. Check it out. If you haven't already, do me a favor, hit like, hit subscribe. I'll see you outside.